tiger on the prowl. I'ma make it go wow. I'm original, and I told you so. I'm a kid in the candy store. Put the leather on the denim. I ain't the cure, I'm the venom. If you wanna find me, find the taillight. Something's coming in, you're gonna wanna take a red eye. It's time to go. It's time to go. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink. I don't wait for nobody. I'm a summer name on the dotty. City lights call my name, drawn to the flame, and I'm feeling kinda naughty. I hit the ground running, step out the door and I'm stunning. Better hold tight cause you know what's going down. I'm setting the pace cause this is my town. So get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready. Don't blink, don't blink.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, everyone. Welcome to What Up Wednesday. Keely down FH Umpires. It is so good to be here. I hope you guys have been having a great week so far. I hope your hockey weekend was not super. No, I'm just kidding. Most of you got absolutely deluged. I saw the Facebook photos. It looked really awful. Ironically, I was out in Victoria this weekend, which is very, very English in its weather. And oh my goodness, it was sunny. Like the whole time. We didn't get any rain at all. It was unbelievable. It was so not British Columbia. It was amazing. Anyway, I am so happy to be here. And we have quite the experience lined up. I hope you are ready for this. We are going to do the KNHB Aerial Quiz. Okay, we're not going to do the whole thing because about half of the questions are from Olympic scenarios. And the last time I put up Olympic clips, well, we all know what happened. It was, yeah, that happened. So I cut all those out. We only have 23 questions to go through, which I'm sure we're not going to get through even. Okay, we're going to try. I expect Simon and Niels to be doing this on their watch, saying, hey, come on, get to it. And, well, I mean, all we can do is cross our fingers and try to make them through as quickly as possible. But I do want to give room for discussion so that we can understand what it is we're doing. So I'll show you how I set it up later. I, of course, had glances at the scenarios because I was putting them up in my scenes and get everything all loaded up. But I don't know what all the answers are. I did not read through the answer sheet. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be putting the answers on the screen as we go. So I'm probably going to make a lot of faces like this, like, and, you know, stuff like that. Because I'm not expecting to get them all right. That's how it goes. Or maybe I'm getting them all right. And okay, I'm just kidding. That's not the thing. So before we launch into that, few things. First of all, I, of course, am going to say hi to people because the comments are bumping today. Oh my gosh, you guys are like all over it. It's amazing. And I want to thank a few people. And some of them are here. So this is going to be very, very great to be able to say hi. Oh, goodness. Niels, of course, first, good to see you. Rachel, Cabernet Sauvignon. Fantastic. Hartmut, good to see you. Every time you can make it, it is nice to have you around. Lucio's here. Ian, oh yeah, no. Ian, I don't think you've met Rachel. Look, she has a regimen. We have a pattern. This is our relationship. And this is what she does. There's nothing early about it. It's appropriately on time. Ian. I already said that. Lou, hi. I'm just getting ready for what's going to happen here. Urian's here. Oh, normally a replay team member joining live. Yeah. Woo, wait. Urian is one of our newest yellow team members, which is something that I'm putting up on the screen shortly. And I'm very excited to have him around. We had a great conversation last week, and I'm just so grateful for the great people who keep coming into our team. It's great to have you. Scott Riley's here. Godders! We'll talk about this in a second, Godders, about the FIH awards. Love to hear your thoughts, so get some comments to feed me up. Get me riled. Get the rant started. Ian's just on the tee. Okay, 1901. You're very restrained. Good work. Richard's here. Thank you. Matthew, Causey, God, where have you been? It's almost like you have a life or something. So mad. Glad you're here. Oh, you had an East game postponed to COVID. Sorry to hear that. Shane getting up early, 7 a.m. That's worth a DJ horn. Great to have you. Mike Wynn's here. Hi, friend. Mark Whitehorse. Wait, first timer? There's a hug. This is a hug happening right here. Thanks for joining in. You've always watched on catch up. And where have all your comments been, Mark? Look, just because you watch on replay. Okay, let me just make this clear. If you're watching this on replay right now, you go into the comments and you go #replay squad, and then you put in your stuff. I do this to other people all the time. When I catch up on their live streams, I pretend like I'm live and I'm just typing away. It's the best way to live. Like, you're living your best life as long as you prepare your own experience. So don't be shy. There you go. Mike Boyne's here. Oh my God. So you guys were all doing this before I even logged in? That's amazing. Elaine's here. Fantastic. Yes. Thank you, YouTube notifications. If you haven't done so, good seg, Luke. You're my favorite today. You can subscribe to this channel only if you think it's going to bring you value and you're going to come in, you're going to participate all the time. I don't want numbers. I want people. Okay. I want people who are engaged and who love this stuff. If you're kind of not sure, just hold on. Okay. I'll win you over in time, but don't rush into it. We're not rushing into this relationship. And when you subscribe, you click on the bell and you get your notifications. I suggest all. Don't just get most, get all. And then we can be best friends. That's how it's going to work. Let's go again. Neil, hi. How have you been? It's been a hot minute. James Hicks is here from my live stream community friends. Thank you so much for joining in and giving me some feedback, I'm sure, on Let's Get Live. So I'm looking forward to that. Yes, new umpire here from Maryland, Corey. And I'm going to do it again, because that's how happy we are to have you. Just started last week. You've really enjoyed watching the past episodes to get the off-field experience. Oh, okay. I'm getting those uncomfortable things that happen in here and down here that make these things break, and those things. Adam Swan's here. Hey. Exactly, because he's new. James is here. Hey, friend. James, okay. Get you an avatar. None of this J malarkey, okay? You're a real person. You're here all the time. I need an avatar. Get on it. CJ, hi. Aim for 5. I don't know what we're aiming for, but I'm in there. Mark Davidson, hi. George, that's fantastic. Steve Godders. Godwin. This weekend, you get the fastest goal in your career, 13 seconds from match start. Team who started conceded the goal, a record. I don't know. Can anybody beat that? Let me know. I want to hear about it. Alan's here. Andrew, right? Oh my gosh. You guys, I'm getting all the feelings again. I'll show you in a second. Tomas, Matthew. Oh boy. Jurgen's here. Okay, people are pretty excited about this aerial quiz, obviously. You guys really want to see how well I can do on this, don't you? And you're all going to play from home, right? That's very important. AJ's here. Good to have you back. Yes, you're gutted, Daniel. No umpiring this week as you have a 3-hour round trip to play. Oh, yeah. It's tough, right? You know, y'all are balancing playing and coaching and umpiring and umpire coaching and umpire managing and administrative duties and things like that. That's the life I'm living right now. And that said life is nut bar at this particular moment. I am barely hanging on to reality here. There you go. Ryan, good to see you. Finally here to watch 2 minutes because you have an early game. You need to umpire. That is a great excuse. Mr. Griffiths, we are very pleased to hear this news. Okay, is umpiring a bronze medal match good in your first tournament? What do you think? Huh? That is so great. I'll give you one of those, and then I'll give you one of those again. I need better sound effects. Oh, good to have you. Let's see. Oh, and Scott is umpiring with Mike, one of the several mics around the broadcast. You sort it out, okay? That's up to you to sort. Sam, Nick, oh my goodness. Sorry, I just hit my mic. I hope that didn't ruin your lives. There you go. Hey, live stream community friends, Better Officials here. My friend Greg Austin, basketball educator, bloody extraordinaire. Look, there's not many people I would tip my hat to in this space, but let me tell you, this guy has got it going on. So if you referee basketball, don't sleep. Go sub to his channel. He's got it. Under 15 bronze medal match. That is so good. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just doing my thing. Just out here in these streets, teaching the stuff. Yes, many sound effects happening. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay, so we're going to talk about this in a second. Godders, let me favorite this so I can come back. Hi, Nick. Cat! Girl! Thanks for coming. I hope you're doing well. Oh, the FIH Awards. We missed you too. We really did. Okay, many likes. Okay, we are... Oh, there you go, Cat. Go check his channel out. It's really awesome. See, there you go. Mr. Austin, we're friends. We help each other out. Okay, let's talk about a little bit of the news of the day in just a sec. But before we start, I just want to say, so I had a bit of a rough start to the morning. You know, reasons doesn't really matter. I was feeling kind of down in the dumps and feeling like I wasn't really sure if I'm getting through, and I don't know if I'm growing, and I don't know if I'm getting out there, if people are hearing my message, and I was feeling a little frustrated, and I checked my emails an hour ago, and I got some really great news. So I want to say, first of all, welcome. Oh, welcome to Corey. Okay, first of all, joining the third team as a green member. Thank you so much. You have no idea. It seems like it's just a tiny little bit every month, but when you join the third team as a green member for $3 a month, it just helps that continuity. So I have that security knowing that I can cover some costs, and it also lets me know that you value what's happening out here in these streets. So thank you. 2 new yellow members, and I can't remember if I welcomed Yurian officially last week, but anyway, here it is. Yurian. Very warm welcome. And just today, right here, Edward Chang. Hi. I'm going to be sending you an email personally later. You're going to get lots of automated emails from my little system, but welcome to the yellow team. Let's get you on the Discord. Let's do all those things because I can't wait to get started. I can't wait to get to know you. It's going to be awesome. Okay. And then, Andrew Wright, thank you so much. Okay. It's just, I'm going to get verklempt again. Thank you very much again for the support. If you want to make my eyes break, go to this right down here, buymeacoffee.com/FH Umpires, and I will make a fool of myself. Thank you very much. See, it's been a day. It's already been a day. Okay. Let's talk about these FIH awards. Okay. So if you haven't heard the whole story, all the awards went to Indian players. Very, very good Indian players. Men's and women's both. And frankly, for the women's side particular, it was really nice to see them get some recognition, some celebration, and what it means to the women's sport in that country cannot be overstated. Their performance coming in fourth at the Olympics was just so profound, and it's not just about women's hockey in India. It's not just about women's sport in India. It's about women's sport in that whole area of the world. It's about women's sport for everybody. So I really have a soft spot for that program and for those athletes and what they've been going through. So congratulations to them. At the same time, I'm not sure if you've met individual sporting awards for massive team sports like this, but they kind of suck. I'm just going to say it. They suck because they are very difficult to adjudicate for very many reasons. How do you possibly pick out the best player from all the players who make such a difference on their team at this level? So the FIH had created a weighted system based on National Association votes and media votes and fan votes. And guess what? The Indian contingent showed up. They voted. And the rest of the world didn't. End of story. So it was a popularity vote. And you know what? Not the worst thing that's ever happened in the world. But what it shows you is the remarkable lack of participation from national associations. Because most of them didn't bother to effing vote. So if I find out that Field Hockey Canada didn't vote in those FIH awards, I am absolutely going to wreck some shop, because we cannot entrust the governance of our sport to a national body who then can't be asked to go out there and represent our views, our opinions, our needs, our opinions about who the best player of the world is on the global stage. It is an obligation for every single one of those national associations to vote in things like this. That's all I'm going to say about that. What are you going to say about that? Let's see what happened. Oh, Lewis is here. Hey, friend. Oh, you know it makes sense. Thanks, Nick. Oh my gosh, like all my live streamer friends are showing up. Good to see you, Blind Guy, his wife, their life. Wonderful, wonderful folks. Thank you so much. And yes, so let's see. I have two favorited comments about this issue. Plenty unhappy the governance of the World Game if you judge social media reaction to Indian clean sweep of all words. Yeah, and honestly, the thing that I hate about this, I'm not done ranting yet, is that it's controversy. To which so many people would say, hey, controversy is great for our sport. It's going to raise our visibility. We'll be trending on Twitter. Like, isn't that awesome? No, this is divisive because instantly we're pitting India against the rest of the hockey world. We get racism, we get nationalism, we get everything either overtly or seeping under the surface. And it's ugly. And that's why I don't believe controversy is a great way to sell anything. Because you sell it by breaking the product. You break the people and you break the community. That is not okay with me. That's why I get really angry when everybody's like, well, it's okay if we have some umpiring controversy. Let's throw those umpires under the bus. Let's just see what happens, because it's great for people to talk about it. It's good for people to talk. It's not good to have the divisive, combative dialogue that we've been getting indoctrinated in doing thanks to social media for several years, popularized by a certain ex-president of a certain country of which we will not speak, and still going on. He didn't invent it, but he sure made it really big. And we're trying to sort out how we can engage with each other in the public realm on the internets in a way that's constructive and positive. So, okay, that's all I have to say about it now. Aline, the FIH awards, how did they win all of them? Like Belgium men and Netherlands women won the Olympics and they didn't get any awards, but those teams, yeah. I mean, maybe they're better. Maybe they're better. I don't know. But what you have is an indication of how poorly our organizations, our media, and our fans who aren't in India engage with the game. So that's something that we have to change first. We can look at the criterion of how the votes are awarded and blah, blah, blah. Sure, whatever. At the end of the day, it really doesn't matter because we know that the things that matter are medals and winning games. Players, they like these things and it's good for them individually, but they actually I don't think they really care. What they care about, I bet all those Indian women would trade all of those awards to get just that bronze medal instead of the 4th place at the Tokyo Olympics. In a heartbeat. Okay. So let's tie this up and then we'll get onto the quiz. England hockey's not on, ask for a process review. Hey, like, get everybody to vote. That's how it works, England hockey. And did we ask for a process review for the actual FIH executive elections? And what happened to that? Now, that's the stuff that really matters, but every national association is sleeping on that problem. Oh, boy. See, now I'm getting all riled up. You guys. Hi, Simon. Peter, you're only just a little bit late. Okay? We have to be part of the solution. If we don't like what's happening, we have to get on our national associations and say, did you vote? Did you get all your friend national associations to vote? And if they aren't taking the action you want, then we have to get new people in place in our government, in our governing bodies, sorry. In our government too, but in hockey. Okay. Who wants to do a quiz? Oh, you guys, I'm so nervous about this. So there are many things set up here, many moving parts. I am stretching the capacities of eCam scenes and overlays and text overlays like you would not believe. This is a test case for probably how not to do things, but I'm going to try. It's going to involve me doing a lot of copying and pasting and all kinds of stuff. So fingers crossed. Be patient with me, okay? 23 questions is what we have. I am not going to review the rules because we'll talk about the rules as we go if there's any questions. But I fully expect that all the times that we've hung out here, getting to know each other, that we've talked about the rules. But we'll continue to go through them. And if you were hanging out during the Olympics, man, you heard a lot about aerials. So let's do it. Okay. Thank you for indulging the button clickers. Very good to have you. So, are we ready? So, you might want to get something to write on at home so you can keep track of your own score. Because I'm already keeping track of my score. I can't keep track of your score. Life's hard. I don't even know how many people are watching. It's probably chaos. Dogs and cats living together. There we go. Okay. Let's get it started. So, we're going to start with question 1. Are you ready? This is a scenario. I hope that's the first one. Does that look like the first one? Okay. This is what the quiz looks like. So I'm going to keep this playing. So you have a chance to sort of look at what you're doing. But let's go. Let's see what I'm getting. Okay, let's see what I'm guessing here. I need to find my overlays. Don't worry. Okay. So what you need to do, we're going through the steps, and this is how the quiz is set up, is that, you know, you get points for the decision, but in order to figure it out, you need to decide who the passer is, like who delivers the aerial pass, who the initial receiver is, what is the correct decision, and then we have some rationale. Okay. So let's see. Sorry, Nick is just chiming in on this. Awards cast a long shadow. Let's do like this. That is 10 pence worth for sure, Nick. I appreciate the increased value that you've given in that. Okay, so this is what I'm seeing here. Okay, so I see black is the initial passer. Okay, things are working so far. And let's see who the initial receiver is. Okay, so it's this aerial here. Okay, the initial receiver is still black. I think the answer is play on, because I think that it is a safe interception. And let's see, this is what the answer is. Are you ready? Drum roll. I should have had that sound all set up. Oh, whoops. Did I do that right? No, I didn't do that right. Hang on. I said this was play on. No problem, you guys. No problem at all. We got this. We got this. So that is what we thought. And then this is paste as plain text. And this is what the KNHB said. Oh! I got to pull this down. Don't worry. Okay. They said the white player comes within 5 meters of the initial receiver, but intercepts the ball in a safe manner, which is allowed. Ding, ding, ding. Did you hear that? That's the old Macintosh sound. I think I got one right. So let's do it like this. I hope you guys got that right. We've been talking about this. This is that concept that even though it's technically within a 5 meters, it's in front and the interception is done safely. Any comments on that one? Let's see what we got. Let's see. The worst. To be fair, Daniel, this is actually the way it's been interpreted for a few years, but they've solidified it in briefings now. So this is kind of the way it happens, right? Things start to evolve at the top level because umpires and coaches and players and administrators all kind of respond to how the game is changing. And they do this kind of together as a community. And then it starts getting codified. It gets talked about by people like me. And then it gets put into briefings. And then it might get put into guidance that goes into the rule book. And then might go into the rule book if it's needed. Okay, let's see. James, the first part of video quizzes is how often they want you to give the best decision after you give the worst angle. Yeah. Oh, I mean, we might have terrible angles in this. Okay. Totally fair. And don't stress about that. Okay. That's how life goes. Can someone buy Katerina Rose too? Aw. Mike, looked like a safe intercept to you, notwithstanding the poor angles. Mark agrees. Play on correct. Good job. Yes. We like it too. Excellent. So that is the answer. Is this interpretation? Wait, hang on. Hide that. Okay, it's gone. So there we go. Corey, Let's see what you have to say, new guy. Safe interception is great interpretation, but not being accepted at lower levels. It'll always need to be in a pregame discussion. Yeah. And Corey, I think one of the things that is going to be a really big challenge for you is that umpiring in the States, it's a very, okay, how do I do this diplomatically? It's quite an insular hockey culture. And trusted authorities there aren't always in tune with what's happening on the international scene. So it can get a little complicated and not things are out of date very often. And if you're at lower levels, that's part of it, is how long it takes for the best information to keep flowing downwards. And sometimes when you're insular, you start stepping off sideways out of the way of all the great information that's coming hierarchically from the top to the bottom. And that's why I'm here, is because I'm trying to pull all the people who may have stepped to the side and bring them back under the big umbrella of authority and get them the right information so they can umpire within the consensus, so everybody is doing the same thing all over the world. That's part of my big mission. You would have blown that. That's okay. That's okay, Matthew. And this is why we're here. Kat, it's been challenging for sure. You went with play on for the same reasons. Excellent. Corey, play on, interceptor going away from play. Excellent work, you guys. Daniel, I did deal with an aerial and under 14s game on the weekend. It was a cheeky one like this, but had to play it safe. The second I saw the defense trying to get to the ball when the receiver was obvious. Yeah, and there's a difference between... There's different levels where safe interceptions can be attempted and where they can't be attempted. So just keep that in mind. It's already 12:30, so hopefully there we go. And it might have been black if black had moved towards the ball, right? And yeah, that can make things hard. Okay, next question. That kind of went okay. Okay, that goes white. Okay, the audio is mistimed, so don't let that fool you. But white. And the video people really like the decision, you can tell. Okay. Let's see if we can get on this now. Okay, all of these were supposed to blank. That's okay. Actually, I think, I messed that up. Okay. So for me, for everybody, the passer was white. Was there initial receiver there? I think so. I think white had the ball. So I think the correct decision would have been free hit attack. And let's see what... Oh, look at that. Ding, 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 ding. This is the answer. This is pass of white to a teammate. This means the defender cannot come within 5 meters of the attacker until the ball is under control on the ground. Yes! Excellent. So, do this. Do this. I'm on a roll, you guys. Totally on a roll. I love it. Okay. So I think here it was just an issue that the umpire who called the free hit for the defense just misinterpreted whether there was an initial receiver or not. And this is a nice angle. This is one of the angles that we prefer to have vertically up the pitch, but it's still easy to misinterpret if you're tracking too late where the players have started. So even though the guidance is asking you to look at the last 20 meters of the ball path, that's when you make your decision. That's not when you start looking at the play. So as soon as you see an arrow going up, you got to peg where the players are in relation to the ball and try to assess who an initial receiver might be. It doesn't mean that an interception can't happen. Okay? So let's see what y'all said. James, I might not have allowed that in your national under 14 tournaments. Yep. Maybe there, but not in your weekly under 14s. Totally fair. Okay. Let's see. Mark, first off the mark there. I'll just say that for my own pun. Free hit white, red needed to give 5. I agree. Mike, free hit attack. Yep. White play on. Free hit white. Yeah, play on. Yeah, it could have been that, or it could have been a free hit for the, you could have played advantage, potentially. Let's see. Oh, that's not still running. So let's just loop that bad boy so that we can see if advantage could have accrued. I'm not sure if... Yeah, I don't think that was a situation where there was too much advantage available. So there you go. Goddard's white. The on the ground needs removing. Oh my God, yes, Scott, it really does. So what Scott is referring to here is the part in the rule that requires that the ball has to be controlled and on the ground. Now, given that so many of the skills are used three-dimensionally, players can receive and can actually direct the ball themselves intentionally out of the air in a continuous movement as an attacking skill. To say that a player needs to control it on the ground, controlled and on the ground implies controlled on the ground, is ridiculous. Okay? We have seen cases where players are able to sustain the ball in the air, or they're able to control it, but they're able to bounce it around the ground and do fun things with it. I know it makes it hard, but this is why we get paid the big bucks. We can do this. Yeah. Yep. It's just needs to be about danger and who causes it. I agree. Mark, no advantage, ball lost by white. Yeah, I think so. Okay. Does this quiz specify free hit versus penalty corner in the 23 compared with Tokyo? This quiz was formulated after Tokyo, and the KNHB is applying the Tokyo briefing. So penalty corners would be available. Do I think this is a penalty corner situation? No. I think it has to be a lot more clear what is happening, and I just don't see it. Agree now. Okay. How would a PC be viewed? Intentional encroachment. So what you would see is yes, clear knowledge by the defender that they're breaking down play. So not just taking a risk, but the standard has to be so high right now because we're just starting to apply this interpretation. We can't just willy-nilly go out there and go, well, we think that the defender shouldn't have encroached there. Like the threshold just has to be a lot higher than even what we apply with tackling, because our accuracy levels, as we see, this is Hoofdklasse, Dutch women, and the umpire gets it wrong. So imagine if they got it wrong and awarded a penalty corner out of this situation. That's why I don't like it, to be totally honest. Plus, does this break down a penalty corner worthy opportunity? She receives it, she's under pressure, but does that mean that, that there's a difference between not being able to receive a ball in space and having the ball knocked away from you and you not having possession of the ball that you should have had. Okay, I talked about this a lot during the Olympics, but it's still that kind of thing. Okay, so am I saying the white player could have lobbed the ball over the defender around onto it? Not that high. No, because the potential just right here in this scenario, this particular situation, I can see a lot of danger in that. What I'm talking about is the ability of players they're not trying to play the ball dead down to the ground at this level. They are trying to move with the ball, keep it going, dynamic receiving skills. At least this is what I'm coaching with my players as well. And they're not controlling it on the ground. They're controlling it in midair. And they're keeping it in midair and controlling it there. Are we making that determination separately in the 23-2? I'm not sure. Hopefully I answered what you were talking about, James, without that. But advantage might have come in if the engaged umpire hadn't blown. Yeah, and what I would like to see is more of that being attempted. What that means, even at high levels, is you're waiting. You have to wait to see what happens because it is random, because this is a skill that you don't know what the outcome's going to be. Much unlike other things where you can anticipate, well, they've kept control of the ball, but they've been disadvantaged, but this is what's available to them. We don't really know in that situation, which makes it hard. I'm going to sigh a lot, I think, in this quiz. No PC for you, Godders. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it depends. So just what, as long as it's not dangerous. So this situation, I can't see how it wouldn't be just because of where the players were, but there you go. You thought it was a free hit too. Okay. There we go. And creativeness and skill, yes, absolutely should be rewarded. Fantastic. Okay. Oh, did I change I didn't change. There. 2. Okay. Like a herd of turtles. It's been almost 45 minutes. Okay, I'm just going to watch it one more time in real. Okay, and don't worry, this has to clear. Oops. Okay, so what am I seeing here? I'm seeing that the initial passer is, again, white. Let me loop this. Sorry, I thought these were all set to loop. Let's try this again. Okay, I don't think there's an initial receiver there. That's my call. Sue me. None. So decision should be, oops. Yeah. I can see already out of the corner of my eye that many of you have that right. So if I could actually type properly. So yes, that's the decision I think it is. And haha. And this is the rationale. Answer. At the moment of determining at 20 meters from the landing, the attacker and defender within 5 meters of each other, then the normal rule applies and the attacker may not come within 5 meters so they can receive the ball. Got it right. Good job, everybody. Three. Save. Playing the noise again. Okay, let me just see what's happening here. White could have been clever and run. Yeah, I mean, that's the only option that the attacker has available there, given that the ball has been given into, there's no initial receiver there. So there you go. Free hit block for Scott. Shane, yes. Mike, no receiver. Yeah, this one was a good one. Initial, oops. I just like literally moved everything off my desktop. No problem. White, no clear receiver, free hit. Yep. Okay, correct decision. Free hit, 2 defenders already there. Yep. Absolutely. So good stuff. Matthew, in the games you umpire, the aerial doesn't often go. Okay, this is a really good point. Matthew, I feel this. I see this all the time. Leela sent me a text last night saying, what the hell do you do when the aerial only goes 12 meters? How do you decide the last 20 meters of a 12-meter aerial? And I've had a couple people say very, very similar things. And I mean, the one thing that we know about very short aerials is that they're often dangerous because there's often congestion right around that ball. Now, that's not always the case, but literally you don't have the 20 meters is for a longer aerial through which you have the time to see whether a safe interception can occur. A short aerial, there's no time. So it's either dangerous off the hop or it's safe. And there's not going to be an interception. There's not going to be nothing. It's just going to be there. Bailu, I'm looking forward to seeing how you do. So you make sure you put in the comments, okay? I want to know how everybody goes. In some games, the aerial isn't always an aerial. That is me. On a separate note, it's going on. Oh, Malaysia, 2-1 Malaysia, first 10 minutes. Whoo, that's fun. I didn't know I was clashing with the game because I've been too busy. I don't know. What's going on? We have issues with men. The men play in the teams in the league, and the congestion in the beginning is an issue, and then the men throw it far, and the females aren't always as skilled. Yeah. And that's why I don't love co-ed games for that respect. And, you know, someday I'll sit down and issue a very good feminist dissection of what co-ed sport means and that sort of thing. But when you have such wide disparity levels of skills and athleticism in a group, you are playing a recreational sport. And so the rules about what is dangerous, what is advantageous, and all that kind of stuff have to go even further down the priority list in favor of safety. And yeah, you can get yourself into some real spots of bother on that one. Short aerial, either obviously dangerous or a really good pass. Exactly, right? There's only that two things. James, we've been training short aerials because they're brutally effective. There's no between you and the person you're passing to. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. We do that too. I've all of a sudden got 2 defenders on my team who can bomb a 30 meter aerial because we did skill sessions, and I'd like to take credit, but I'm pretty sure that a lot of it was them. Yeah, there isn't time for anything else to happen. Exactly. Okay. Which one was this? Okay. Next.
But again, it's
question 4.
Again, making poor selection, poor choices on his passes. It away in the end, I think. But again, it's Harmonpreet again making poor selection, poor choices on his passes. It away in the end, I think.
Okay. Oh, this is an interesting one. I'd say there's a little bit of an argument that after the passer is white, but that there is actually no initial receiver again on this one. Had it had a little bit more legs, but we're not talking about where the ball lands. It's where it's potentially received. And this is why I hate the phrase landing area, because it gets us to focus on where the ball would be when it's on the ground instead of where it could be received in the air. So I talk about a receiving area as much as I can possibly remember instead of a landing area for that reason. So I think, again, that it's a free hit. It's not black in this situation. It's white. That's what I think. Drum roll, please. Argentina, India. Free hit blue. Oh, yeah. I didn't mean free hit white. I meant free hit to the team that didn't raise it. So I got it right. Okay, let me add this in. Paste as original text. And let's see what they say. At the moment of determining, oh, and it's not looping anymore. Loop. Because why not have that keep playing? At the moment of determining at 20 meters from the landing, the attacker and defender within 5 meters of each other, then the normal rule applies and the attacker may not come within 5 meters of the defender so they can receive the ball. Yeah, okay. I think that it's, yeah, that's one way of explaining it, but we got to the right result, so thank you, Mr. Mac. Hi, Digital Buddha. David Blackman, good to see you. And my setup looks great. My gosh, I am so nervous about all these text overlays. And my Stream Deck is working overtime. But thank you very much for the compliments. So let me change my score to 4. Oh boy. Could it be true? Could I still be rolling? Let's see what y'all have to say on this one. For you, Scott, there's no initial receiver, and the attacker ran as the defender's playing space, even though he's free to attempt play. Yeah. Blue intercepts going backwards. Oops. Let me get that off screen. Why isn't this looping anymore? Because I have to press play? Stop being complicated. Okay. And that's true, Mark. Okay, so let's get back. This gets to the point I was talking about interception, or sorry, about receiving areas and landing areas. So the ball gets down on the ground and you think, okay, in that's sort of in between white and blue. But the ball can be received safely where blue is. They are closer to being the initial receiver. So I'm okay with saying either the initial receiver is none or that blue is the initial receiver. Because the reception is up here, not down here on the ground, which is a little bit further back where blue is. Does that make sense? Am I speaking English? White, blue, free blue. Blue intercepts going backwards. Hard one, no clear receiver. So Shane, you're on my thing. Right receiver came in late to the landing zone. There you go. Is it a hump day? Oh, I don't know. 2-to-1 situation. Yeah, those are always trickier, Daniel. That's a really good point. Is that Simon Mason on commentary being critical of the FIH World Player of the Year? Say it ain't so. Too close to make it obvious who would gain possession. Yeah. Okay. You're all there. If I were explaining the teams, I'd just say that blue was the first receiver. Sure. Until after the game. And then nobody would remember. Okay. Okay. This is 15. Okay. Next. This one's really fast.
Oh, that's that lead by Velton.
There's more footage of Allison and Nan than there is of the play. And we're cheating by watching it so many times, but because I think that's a no clear receiver. So that's initially off orange, and the receiver, no initial receiver. So that's a free hit to orange. Let's see how we do. Yeah. This is great. And I love it because your comments actually come in because they're coming in fairly fast. And because it's taking me so long to do these things, I can see that you guys are getting it right. Answer. At the moment of determining. Is it the same? Oh, yeah. I just copied and pasted because the same answer was both from that and the last one. So I got it right. Yay, me. I don't mean to brag, but I might be good at this. Oh, let's see what y'all said. No clear initial receiver, both potential candidates. Yeah. Yeah, free hit Netherlands. Yeah, free hit defense, George. Not always see the movement on video. Yes, and seeing the whole picture is really important. Absolutely. Okay, black, no clear receiver, or orange. And Dutch. You didn't mean that. Free hit attack. No, I think that's... Look at how many steps black takes in comparison, Daniel, if that's the criterion you're using. Much more movement on black to get into that receiving space, the receiving area. So I would not be giving a free hit block there. Free hit orange. Original hit block. Netherlands. Yeah, free hit Netherlands. I am asking you, Aline. It's a quiz. Just saying. We are asking. We are asking these questions. Okay. Was that 16? That was 16. Okay, so I'm putting this back. 17.
Ibarra, still free to applying the pressure.
Clip 17, but question 6.
A bit bruised, doesn't he, Ibarra?
Does very much so.
Unsurprising.
No surprise. No surprise.
Ibarra, still free to applying the pressure. He looks a little bit bruised, doesn't he, Ibarra?
Does very much so. No
Unsurprising.
surprise. No surprise.
Okay. I'll let everything disappear. And I'm just putting my answers in quickly because this is what I think. So I think, surprise, blue is the initial passer. The receiver is also blue. The decision here should be play on. Loop that bad boy. Okay, because I think that blue is given enough space to control that ball, whether it's full 5 or not 5, but the white opponent is behind. And that is just a mishandle of blue. Okay, let's see what they say. Oh, you guys, this is going really well. I was really worried I was going to get embarrassed on this. I'm just saying. Sometimes things don't go well for us. You forgot the play on options, as Rachel. There you go. So this is the answer. The blue player can receive the ball and the defender does not interfere. A stopping error causes the defender not to be 5 anymore, but there is no foul by the defender, so play on. Yay. So this is a tricky one. These mishandling of the ball is very much something that we're getting better at understanding as a community. But what it takes is us understanding, again, where is the receiving area and where can't, a player present danger to an opponent who is trying to receive that ball. Okay, we're not protecting the skill and the ability of the player. It's about, could it be dangerous? Could that white player present danger from where they are? Even though they're not quite 5 meters away, they can't get in the way of that ball by reaching over with their stick this way, right? This is the 3-dimensionality that I'm talking about with all of that. So just because you paint a 5-meter circle around that player on the ground, behind them, there is no interference that's happening. And there's no interference because it can't possibly be dangerous, because that is the spirit that infuses how we interpret the rule. Okay? Let's see what y'all have to say. Where are we at? Free hit, white, play on? Yeah, I think it's just play on Godders. Daniel, blue, play on. Scott, play on blue's initial receiver, mishandled it. It went to white in a safe way. Yurian, blue, play on. Bad reception by blue. Excellent advantage for white. Yeah, it's just kind of like a play on at that point, right? Because you don't transfer the initial receiver to the next person in line. It's just a play on. So either it's safe and the aerial is essentially over because of that mishandle, or it's the aerial is still on because there is still danger. Say the ball bounces on the ground, it's coming up in a way that could present danger to players. No worries, Rachel. Yeah, they did. Blue lost control. His loss. Harsh, Peter, but fair. That first angle is terrible. It makes you think white is too close. Yeah, and I think that's, again, angles are crucial, right? And generally, aerials are contested in vertical spaces. So the players align themselves vertically. The ball is approaching in a semi-vertical way, and vertical might be the wrong word, but, going vertically down the pitch, straight down the pitch. When things start getting angles and the passes are going diagonally across the pitch and players are intercepting at diagonals and approaching the ball at diagonals, that's when everything gets really hard. And our angles, even when we're doing the right thing, being mission critical and being nice and deep and things like that, that's when we can misconstrue. So there's weaknesses, there's pros and cons to every single positioning decision that you make. You're never going to be perfect in every situation because the game is variable. What we're doing is understanding, how does the ball usually move in our game? How do aerials usually happen? Sometimes they go horizontally across the pitch, but usually they go this way. And you can make a more accurate decision when you are in the line that the ball is traveling towards you. Okay? Did I give myself points yet? I don't know if I did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I did give myself points. Okay. Play on, safe receipt, badly done, had space. Thank you. You meant blue for initial receiver. Yeah, no worries, Neil. I think I understood what you were saying anyway. Yep, poor skill. Aerial over when the ball got to white. I tell myself things like advantage over, aerial over, PC over. So I know that I won't be taking it back or rules no longer apply. Yeah, absolutely. That's one of those things that you can do with proactive communication is, again, it's the difference between telling players what to do, or telling them what you've seen. Yes, that ball's gone 5 meters. So when a player is self-passed and they're wondering if they can go into the circle, you just say, yeah, that ball's gone 5. You're not telling them to pass into the circle. You're telling them that you've seen it go 5. So that's another one, is like, yep, that's safe. And you can get technical and say aerial over. Usually you have so many other decisions to make at that time, you don't really have time to give them that much information, but sometimes you do. And if you do, players love it. They love knowing what you're thinking, because when the whistle blows, they're like, oh, that's the thing that they just talked about. Get it. You like to play on here, but you like it play on if blue brings it down into control. And I think it should be too. And that's definitely the way that you're seeing it being played more often at the top levels. It's just kind of like an advantage situation. And again, this lends to the whole thing that, yes, technically the white player may not have been fully 5 meters away, but they have what they need. It's safe, no disadvantage. And if that had happened within the 23, like, so say you blew your whistle in this situation, that happens within the 23 and you think that it's been intentional. What's been taken away by that infringement? Again, I go on to that tangent a lot because I think about it every time we start thinking about when we're going to blow the whistle for the attack. Although white doesn't infringe, he's within 5, would be interesting if blue controlled the ball and would white retreat. Yeah, absolutely. Sometimes, think of it this way. Sometimes blue can receive, white doesn't retreat, but blue likes that because they can eliminate that player with their one-on-one elimination skills because they are closer. They have a move set up, they have the skill, and they want to eliminate them. So it's actually advantageous for that player to be within 5 meters. That's what I'm talking about, that we don't know what's really disadvantageous in every situation. It's not the same as a ball going off a foot or a stick obstruction or a body obstruction. It's not the same as those things. You're on your second glass. I wish I was on my fourth. You love a mishandled aerials when defense backs away, but it gets, but still gets it, and controller goes off on one because they were poop. I don't have my sound effect handy. Okay. If white was 3 meters in front rather than behind, for me, that changes the call. Yes. Yes, it does. It may well be in that situation the white could be the initial receiver because they are able to receive that ball potentially at that height. Again, because it's not a landing zone. It's not a landing spot. It's a receiving area. Who cares about landing? Parallel and perpendicular are easier than angles. Yes, thank you. Yeah. Those are the words I'm trying to use. It feels absurd to say that white that what white does here is either safe or dangerous, depending on whether... Yeah, okay. So I see what you're saying, James. You're sort of hearkening back to that it should be okay regardless. White closed him a little bit. Yeah. A good shot of poor skill would be fun. Maybe not. Okay.
That is one. That is one. That is one.
Okay, so as we tally up our answers, what am I going to say here? Oh boy. Okay, for me, initial passer is red, initial receiver is red. I'm giving a penalty corner. Okay. You know what I'm thinking, right? We know what we're thinking. Could that have been the one? And here, friends, is the answer. Red attacker is clearly the initial receiver. Defend comes within 5 before the ball's under control. This is a foul by defender, so a penalty corner. Bing! Got it. Now, does anybody want to argue for a penalty stroke? I'm here for this. If you want to make the argument. So this is one of those situations where the footage is really quite crap because we really can't see from how far away, the body language of the defender, what kind of space the red attacker was in before. You would like to think that he wasn't like super wide open in the circle. You would like to think Argentina can play better defense than that. I'm not sure if they can, but you would like to believe this. And so you would like that not to be such an egregious, oh crap, I missed my mark. I'm going to come in here and make sure that he doesn't have a clear opportunity with 5 meters of space to half volley it out of the air and put it by Villa. So I think a stroke is overly much. Red PC for Daniel, PC for Godders. Peter, can't tell where red was at 20 meters. Yeah, we're assuming from what we're seeing, Rachel. Oh, and it's not looping again. We're assuming from the movement that as the ball is being received, red is actually slowing down their movement, blue is accelerating. So you surmise from that pattern that it is the initial receiver is red. So Mark wants the penalty stroke there. George, PC, Shane, is the defender moving in? Yes. But assuming no movement to PC. So now that's looping. I hope that looks a little bit more clear. And again, I'm okay with you saying if I see the defender coming from a further distance away, for example, and I read their body language, that I'm going to read more intention into that to break down the play. That's okay. I'd like you just to go by the evidence that you have. The best evidence that you've got right here, because that's what we have to do on the pitch, is that we can't extend. And just because this evidence is really bad, and you'd have a lot better of a view of it if you were actually umpiring this game, which, gosh, wouldn't we all like to do that? Yeah, not a great angle. Looks like white steps into the receiving area. Yep. So asking the question, Scott. Yep. That's okay, Mark. And like go through the thought process. I like it. I like that you're Because the first thing I see every time is like, here is like, is this the one? Is this the one that goes over the edge to that? Yeah, from what we can see. Not a penalty stroke for Godders. Not from that position. Okay. It's closer to a stroke than the first one was to a PC, but I'm not giving that. Okay. Cool. Not a stroke. Very helpful. You have, okay. Bye, Andrea. Thanks for the rosé. You're awesome. Roger gave a PC for that exact situation. Yeah. Yeah. And so it's down to a 10. You're going to surmise that from how much activity there is. And this is a problem that we're going to have because the way that the rules committee is pushing things now is to a much more black and white interpretation. If it's deemed intentional, you have to give the stroke. And you don't look at what the probability is of the opportunity, but that does inform intentionality. It does inform how reckless a particular action is, because if you're reckless as to whether you're breaking that down, you're more likely to be taking a chance when that would save a really good goal scoring opportunity. Right? So I know we're kind of, twisting this around from a few different angles, but I think it's still important to talk about. It's 112. I think I would need red to be stationary. Yeah, that would make it more obvious. May have been a penalty stroke if the defender was from outside the circle and one decision was given against if the other defender wasn't there. Card 2. You might. I think the first time you give a penalty stroke for a 5-meter infringement, I think you're probably good with the penalty stroke. Do you really need to send the personal message in that case? I don't think so. If we start giving penalty strokes for this, the game will change beyond recognition. Agree, Godders. This is why you and I are best friends, because we see this the same way. And I'm very concerned as to how a technical infringement of a rule that may or may not be needed in order to promote good flowing and safe hockey turns into penalties, basically. I hate it. I have deep, deep feelings. PC but no card. Yeah. Now remember, if you were thinking of a card here, it has to be a penalty stroke. Okay? We can't give a card in a penalty corner here. That's super not okay. Especially the way that the rules committee wants it now. Because we can't give cards outside the circle, inside the 23 for intentional fouls without giving the upgrade team penalty. They've made that so crystal clear, and I've repeated it many, 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 many times. I don't like it, but that's what they've said. So this is what we have to do. We have to umpire the way we're being instructed from the top and let them figure it out. What if the attacker misses the ball entirely because he sees the defender coming in? Yeah, you still apply the penalty because that is the disadvantage. Yes. Exactly, Roger. That's right. If the defender didn't run in from really far away, you'd put it down to instinct. Yeah, so not intentional. Player's eyes are on the ball, then he turns the head to see the attacker. Yeah. Too many moving parts to reasonably set the defending player to track them. Yep. Agree. We have penalty corners as the increment needed here. Yeah. Penalty, it's disproportional. It's not the scales of justice that we're looking for. I agree. Okay. Was that 18? Yeah. Next.
Absolutely. But as you well know, Kate, it comes down to taking your opportunities in the big games.
First quarter, Todd.
Absolutely. But as you well know, Kate, it comes down to taking your opportunities in the big games.
First quarter, Todd.
Absolutely. But as you well know, Kate, it comes down to taking your opportunities in the big games.
Okay. Let's work through it. Okay, this is what I'm saying. Initial passer is red. Oh, loop. Loop that, friends. Loop that video. Loop that video. Okay. I'm saying initial passer is red. Receiver is red. Decision, playing advantage. Not enough control. All right, you guys are going to have to let me know what you think of this answer. Do I... Is this close enough? Here it comes. Drum roll, please. And I'm just making sure I have the right one because it doesn't feel like I have the right one. No, I don't have the right one. Oh, hold the phone. Let's try this again. This is the old one. Hang on. The red attacker is a Keely, the initial receiver. Defender comes within 5 meters before the ball's under control and on the ground. It's fouled by the defender, so free hit. Additional advice, despite the umpire playing advantage, it's best to blow for a free hit. This provides clarity to the players. In this case, advantage is not the best option. So what do you think? Do I get a point for this? Or did I get it wrong? I mean, I don't know. You tell me. You tell me whether I get the point or not. Spanish ball, clear receiver, says Roger. Scott wants a play on, mishandling the ball, put it out of possession. Not the opponent doing anything wrong. Matthew, white infringes, good advantage. Red, play on. Now, Neil, do you mean play on, no foul, or play on advantage? Goddard wants to play on. Advantage red. Mark. Play on following the foul. Urian red. Play on. Play on. Let's see. Did I get this? I saw it just because white is on full tilt. Looks 5 meters at the point of control. But is it point of control? Is it 5 meters at point of control or point of contact? Because I don't think that is control yet. It's 5 meters there and it bounces on the ground. I think it's another half to 1 second later that control is there. Red, play on, given how things shook out, advantage, but potentially a free hit attack, at least at some levels of attack if the advantage doesn't come. Points for all... Points for everybody by consensus. That explanation is trash. Thanks, Neil. I don't think it's trash. I just think that you don't need to blow the whistle to provide clarity. There's great. If I go back to you heard it. You heard it on the live video. When I showed the video with audio, you heard the umpire saying play. Now that can be, this is why I try to use different language for an advantage as opposed to a nothing there foul, as I'll say nothing there. Or if it's actually advantage, I'll say go on, you have it. Play that. Okay? If it's nothing there, I'm like, I do say nothing there. So I try to distinguish that with my language. Harder to do at an international level because you're trying to keep your words very, very simple, but it's part there. Mark wants the advantage. Goddard has advantage there. Have a point. Thank you, Goddard. See this, You've given 0.7 points, George. I don't know if I can do that. I'm rounding up. I get a point. Thank you, Mark. Okay. I don't see the mishandling an opponent ran in early. Okay. If we're talking, yeah, but Daniel, we don't even have to go that far because I don't think just because she touches it and it bounces onto the ground, she doesn't have control until the ball is up onto her stick again, and then she plays it off to the left. Okay, that's the point that I believe is control, because she takes a particular action that gets infringed upon by the white defender to move the ball in a different way. That's the control. So that's what I see. Well, true. If Lorene says advantage, then clearly it's advantage. That is an excellent point, Peter. I like it. Advantage is where it still has possession, even though it's a different player. Yeah. Hi, Pappy Roo. Good to see you. By clearly advantage, yeah, exactly. If there's a clear indication from the umpire, that clarifies things. And welcome to the show. Good to have you. James, don't think you can say that red loses possession. And it might be that because there's a weird bounce, this isn't coming back to it. And I know I kind of talk out of both sides of my mouth when it comes to this, but I think you could say if there's a weird bounce, it's like, oh, advantage didn't work out the way I thought it did. My bad. And you have misread what was there. And then you need to go back and give the free hit for red. That's okay. But I think it's there. Neil, you're trying to use nothing or advantage. Good. Instead of play on. White might be 5 meters away still. No, I disagree. I'm just saying it. And I'm giving myself my point right here. Man, this has taken just a hot minute. Hey, it's 1:20. I mean, I can go a little bit over time, but you guys, y'all have lives. So let's not get too excited here. Okay. Next.
For me, Charlie, it'll be this situation for Great Britain. See how they come out of these.
Haha. Oh, this is a good one.
Charlie, it'll be this situation for Great Britain. See how they come out of these.
Okay, everything is going to vanish. Okay, and do. This is going to be good. Okay. Oh, it's not looping. What do y'all think? I've got the passer is red. I have the initial receiver as red, therefore a free hit for red. Let me cue up the answer. And this is the official answer. At the moment of determining 20 meters from the landing, the attacker and defender within 5 meters of each other, then the normal rule applies and the attacker may not come within 5 meters of the defender so they can receive the ball. Additional advice, in the clip, the umpire awards a free hit to red. However, this should be a free hit to black. Additional advice, despite the umpire playing sorry. There's not 2 pieces of additional advice. I just didn't copy and paste. There we go. Okay, so apparently I got that wrong. Let's talk about why and why I disagree. And I think I got it right. But I'll take it. I'll take it on the chin like a boss. This is something that the coaches and players are really getting on about, is that this is an aerial with a low trajectory, and it's the initial receiver is the player who is in front. They can safely receive this ball. I also do see and maybe I'm guessing and stretching, but I see the black defender approaching from behind. Okay. This to me is one of those situations that maybe this isn't the way that the interpretation is written, but the way that it's being umpired at this level is this. So I will take this as being a wrong answer. And in 2 years, I'm going to be right. And I'm okay with that. You have 7 minutes before ballot pickup. Okay. There you go. So Daniel, red, red, free hit red, black should back away. Orange, orange. Okay, so you probably mean red. Free hit orange. You agree. Red, red, play on. Matthew, no clear receiver, which is in line with exactly what the quiz answer was. Mark, tricky with the clip, but it looks like black steps in. That's potential. Free hit to black. So, Mark, you get points for that. Free hit red. This is a great opportunity that free hits can be the better advantage as the free hit takes the opposition out of the game. Yes. Okay. So, if we were right, Scott, then this is a great time for a quick free hit. You're absolutely right. I love that. Rachel likes the free hit for red. Red ball. All you English aren't calling this just for GB, right? You like the little flick of the stick by black at the red. There's probably something happening off the ball or something. I don't know. You meant advantage free hit red, but he had it. Yeah. So Peter, that goes back to what Scott explained really, really well, which is something that we always want to keep into balance, and something that I'm trying to teach my players on my team that I'm coaching is that when you know you've been fouled, grab that ball, put it down, get your stick in front of it quickly, take your quick self-pass because you have now beaten that player. You pop it off their foot, you've beaten that player. They cannot interfere for the next 5 meters that the ball travels if they're right beside you. So off you go. You're looking for a receiver that is in space, otherwise it ends up like basketball. Yeah, and I understand that, Roger, but guess what? This is the way that the game is going. Like, whether we like it or not, there is more aerial skill. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to train the players and teach them how to do this in a way that they don't put each other at risk. Okay, there is a culture in a game. Like, we can imagine players being muppets and absolutely murdering each other every time the ball goes in the air, but we expect them not to. And we're teaching them through having the rule very rigid 20 years ago to starting to relax in terms of the technicality, pardon me, of that interpretation, and easing off and easing off and easing off so that we can allow the game to breathe and we're not blowing a whistle when we don't need to. Neil, you don't like this one as the footage doesn't show you where a New Zealand defender was. I agree too. And you think this was a clear direct pass to the attacker? Yeah. I don't like this notion that the initial receiver has to be in 5 meters of clear space. Okay? I haven't liked that for a long time because it doesn't reflect the reality of these low trajectory balls. So I think that this is not, I don't think this is reflective of the way that the game works now. If the ball always traveled up high and dropped down low, fine. But it doesn't do that. Look how low the trajectory of this ball is. That's an intended placed pass. Surely red leaving the area is more dangerous than black backing away. Red is in a position to safely move away to leave the ball for black. I'm not sure I understand. The attacker's leading for the pass. Shane, you need a wider view. Neil, New Zealand player is never going to receive that ball without making the situation dangerous. Exactly. Exactly, because he's behind and he's close, so he could create that danger, but red can receive that safely without danger. That's the whole point. That's why being in front is enough, in my view. And I don't know. Well, Mike, you can't really. That's kind of the point. You can't really talk to them about the stick height because, you know, he's potentially going to receive that ball. He's not, but I mean, to me, I still see him kind of breaking down that play. Just, I don't know. Maybe my mind is talking myself into it. The receiver can receive the controlling ball, keeping it safe even though the opposition's within 5 meters. Yeah. Hi, Andrew Pincott. Yeah. Yeah. Andrew, I wouldn't put any money on this because I don't. Actually, I do have a pretty good viewpoint. I just don't trust the way things are going right at this moment in international hockey. I have feelings and concerns. Yep. Yeah, I'm happy to give this one up too because I wouldn't be mad if I were umpire managing this game. I would not be mad at Adam Kearns making that call. I'm pretty sure Adam makes that call. First of all, he's good. Is that Adam? Yeah, that's Adam. First of all, gold medal World Cup game, bronze medal Tokyo, just retired. Sad. He's good. You'd encourage close contact at point of receiving the ball. It would be similar to a fair catch in rugby. Yeah, but and I understand what you're saying, Roger, but I also think in this case, we don't penalize the team that's passing for this. The close contact is caused because the black defender didn't have a chance at receiving that ball. And they're there. Whereas red completely has that ball. Do you see what I mean? Do you see the difference? I'm not sure if my language is good. Looks like black tracked from the free too. Urian, even if it's within 5 meters, could this be considered to be similar to a safe interception? Kind of. It's kind of that spirit. It's that spirit that we're starting to look at these situations and understanding how aerials work. Yeah. These are the low trajectory areas we're training around here for umpires who would give free hit to red. What does black do to defend against this if you're standing close? If he then has to retreat 5, it just rules out marking goal side of a player. Well, that's why you don't mark goal side. That's, you know, you're mistaking that term, at least the way that I coach it. So good. I can put my coaching hat on for a quick hot minute here. Is that there's ball side, goal side, but goal side means vertically, goal side is horizontally, ball side is vertically. He's not ball side marking. He is a non-ball side marking. He could be he's kind of goal side because he's to the left, but he's not ball side. You're okay with this being play on as long as black is entitled to make a tackle afterwards. Yeah, maybe. Defender seems to know. Yeah, see, this is how the players believe the game should go. This is what they want. They want these balls to be going and us looking at them more like a hit that's on the ground or slightly raised off the ground or a knee height thing. Just because it came from that height, at that point, does it really need to be protected in that same way? No. The black player is entitled to be on the field and the passer did not make a pass to a clear receiver. I understand what you're saying, but if your definition of a clear receiver means that the clear receiver has to be in a 5-meter disc on the ground, you're absolutely right. I don't think that's correct. And I don't think that's how the game works. And I don't think that's how the game should work. So that's okay. We can disagree on that. Yeah, I know. No, you guys can't. You're right. You can't. But at the top levels and the levels at which I'm hopefully going to be umpire managing soon, we do. We do, because the coaches and the players get furious when we don't. Because they're like, you don't understand. You don't understand the game. You don't understand what we're trying to do. Bye, Shane. Good to see you. I'm glad it's been valuable. Defender would do exactly what he would do if the ball was passed on the ground and would still be goal side. Would still be non-ball side. Just saying. Let's straighten out those terms. Watch it exactly. 7:48, the block defender reacts late to the ball dropping and flicks it out with a stick. Okay, I'll go back to that and see. Had the ball been loopy high pass, things would have been different. Yeah, absolutely. Peter, that's exactly the point. It would have been completely different because that black player, because of the height of the ball coming in, would have had a chance to contest that ball. That is now a contested ball. It's not to an initial receiver. Therefore, there's a potential danger and the ball should go to black. Maybe the definition of aerial should be changed instead. If this was a direct pass and not an aerial, it would be allowed with the only dangerous question like every other play. Yeah. If the ball were passed on the ground, a receiver is the same. Should the receiver get more protection by the pass being made in the air? Yeah, and George, that is the essence of the question. You've stated it really well, and that means that the ball needs to be, we provide more protection because we don't want players swinging at each other's heads. Come on, Matthew. At what point does a low ball become a high ball? Well, I mean, if I'm trying to say this constructively, but that's the entire issue as well. It's not just height of ball. It's trajectory, it's pathway, it's speed, it's so many other things because the game has more variables than just the height of the ball. And aerials used to be a very static play. They used to be played the same way every time because you had to move the ball at least a meter before it went. You couldn't aerial directly off a free hit. There were all these constrictions that made the aerial ball static. Now it is a very fluid, variable thing. It is a changeable creature. It has an infinite amount of variables. It's very expressive and creative. And the way that we're perceiving the rule and we're applying it doesn't reflect that. And it makes us as umpires look like we don't know what we're doing. When you get players at this level who do know what they're doing. It's a lot passing on aerial. Neil, you're going to make Matthew really angry. Maybe it's a regional thing. I've never seen... It might be a regional thing, but what's the difference with ball side? I don't know. Anyway, we don't have to go into this. That's a coaching discussion. If black's not within... Yeah, okay. I'm not sure if that really helps, James, because that gets into the drawing the disc on the ground. And I don't want to draw the disc on the ground. I want to draw it like as a plane in the air. It's like slicing the space. So the 5 meters actually starts here and then comes down to the ground there. And you take that 5 meter disc and you like take one end of it and you lift it up and it's at an angle. That's what makes sense to me. I'm trying not to swear. That is what makes sense to me considering where the ball's coming from because the ball is coming at that angle, the angle at which we're taking that 5 meter disc, we're raising it up and we're getting the ball coming to us. If the ball was coming high and it was coming down straight, then the 5 meter disc on the ground makes more sense. But it's not even on the ground. It's up here where the ball's being received. Not on the ground. Nobody's receiving an aerial on the ground. We judge intent. The intention was to play a low aerial pass and it was achieved. Dome. Is it a dome? Maybe. Maybe that's a good word to describe it. Let me percolate on that. Yeah, wherever we draw that. Oh, okay. Sorry. It's hard, James. The wall of text, and I'm trying to process all of it. Yeah. Okay. Phew. Okay. Do you want to do one more? I don't want to end on a loss. If we do 10 even questions out of 23, that feels good to me. Okay, so one more. This one.
Your pads basically cover the entire face of the goal from that distance.
Lovely ball over the top.
Was the meter, half
Okay.
a meter that you're...
This should be easier. We should get through this faster. So I'm putting in my answers. You guys tell me what you think. I have I have blue as the passer. I have blue as the initial receiver. I have decision, play on. Let's see what the person who doesn't like me. Okay, you're going to have to tell me if you think I won, because I'm not sure. Oh, my sads. It was going so well, and then I had the nerve. The hubris to say. It does seem pretty clear. This is a pass from blue to a teammate. The defenders do not interfere, so you play advantage. Additional advice in the clip. The umpire was a free hit. Oh, no. I didn't manage to get the whole thing. Hang on. There's no additional advice, especially not additional advice that applies to colors that aren't involved. There. I don't even see an infringement. Okay? That control, the control is made. So this is the difference, Daniel, between the ball bounces up, and at the point where it comes back up again, the blue player has a choice to do what they want to do. And I see them having ample control at the point that the white defender starts to approach 5 meters to make a tackle. Okay? And I don't think Irene is playing advantage. I think she's just playing. She's just playing on. She doesn't have her arm up. She's a demonstrative umpire. When she sees advantage, she shows it. And I think she's just, no foul. So, do I get a point? Tell me. Funnel. Maybe. Dome was better. Quarter segment? Who knows? Oh my gosh. Scott, a Euclidean plane is still two-dimensional. A hemisphere would be more technical. Yeah. Have you met me in maths? I barely survived when I did the whole aerial lobbing stuff. I barely survived that. Interesting. Okay, so for George, nothing there, play on. Blue, play on, play on, play on. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to... And are you still watching? Oh my goodness. This has got to be the weirdest experience for somebody who isn't into field hockey, as the North Americans call it. This is one of my American friends, so it's okay. Play on. Defender wasn't 5, but they didn't interfere. There's no disadvantage. Yeah, I don't see any disadvantage here. So it's just, there has to be a disadvantage for advantage to be applied. Disadvantage requires advantage. No, advantage requires disadvantage. Everything seems clear. Clean. No infringement. If we blew here, we would be interfering, not intervening as to balance everything. Yes, Scott. Point for sure. Definitely. Thank you. Thanks, Ian, for all that. And I hope the new people enjoy. Yeah, me too. David, you're new, but I like you already. You're funny. Okay, I'm... Godders, that's really nice of you to say that I... But remember, I think Matthew is raising good points in opposition to what I was saying. And I think I think that's just early days. But the way we interpret this game is fluid. So the game doesn't just, it's not like we have a set of rules and guidance that only sits there for 4 years and doesn't change. And then boom, everything changes. Like it grows and it changes because the players are doing amazing things all the time to wow us, and they're coming up with new ideas, and they're getting fitter, and coaches are coming up with new ideas all the time. So we don't just umpire very rigidly in that moment. We're responding as it comes, but we have to respond at the top, and then we have to bring it down as time and understanding and knowledge and skill development is appropriate. So I can understand how that might seem not applicable at lower levels, and maybe it'll take another 5, 6, 7 years for that to happen. But this is how the game develops, and we've seen it over and over again. We've seen our game change, and it changes all the way through. It's not like everybody at the level that I play at are playing the way that we played 25 years ago. We're not. We've evolved too. We're just still not very fast or skilled. But our understanding of the game, our culture, our community has been infused with these ideas anyway. I think it's there. I think it's a good thing. So I'm giving myself a 9 out of 10 out of this. We should do this again sometime. Somebody else should produce a quiz for me that I have to do. I'm not doing that work. It was a lot of work. That was awesome. Thank you very much, Scott. Really appreciate it. David's comment wins. Yes. What came first, hockey or ice hockey? Hockey. I'm just going to guess. Somebody prove me wrong. Somebody go Google that right now. Imagine saying we don't want to see this play in the game, that we should stop it. I know. I agree. Safe call to blow back for the disputed answer. Yeah, but not for the future. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Yeah, rants. Rants and bants. That's what we're good for. Rants and bants. Is that a saying over there? I don't know. Thank you so much, George. Thanks for participating, everybody. I hope it was useful. I hope you learned stuff. And it was great to have you all. We should do a group Kahoot hockey quiz. Daniel, get on it. Set it up. I'm so happy you're here, Mark. Thank you. You're claiming a 10. Godders, you deserve it. You should. Thank you very much. Great but long session. I know. Sorry. And useful. Thank you very much. And wait, I have to put this one up because I've had a rough day. Thank you. Okay, you enjoy the rest of your hockey week. Stay in touch. Don't forget to pop over to the Discords if you have not joined up there yet. It really is the place to be. And this is where we can have these conversations more, have them in real time. You can post your videos and you can get some clear answers because I'm there. And I love to make sure that we understand what the consensus should be once we've rolled through lots of learning opportunities. Okay, so please come join me on the Discord. If you really enjoyed this, hey, there's always the little buy me a rosé option. You never know. You could. Maybe one day in real life, we'll be able to do these things too. Enjoy your hockey weekends. Stay safe. Stay healthy. And we will see you in the Discords and see you next week on What Up Wednesday. Thanks very much. Bye.